Hey, this is my Notebook LM tutorial. This is essentially an excellent software that you can use to make really good quizzes based on lecture content. So you're going to want to start by opening Notebook and creating a new notebook right here. And you kind of enter your main homepage. So on the left you have your sources area where you're going to upload all of your PDFs, lecture slides, and if you choose also lecture transcripts. In the middle you have your chat where you can ask the AI to do some things for you, and on your right side is where you can make quizzes, data tables, and presentations, among other things. So we're going to start by figuring out how to upload PDFs. So I like to write a lot of documents like this. So this is one that I recently made. I would download this as a PDF, go to my notebook, add sources, and then upload it from my downloads. And then you can see on the left, it starts loading. It's a relatively small file, so it downloads pretty quick. If you want to download specific lectures, what you would do is you'll open the lecture. So I have Principles of Homeostasis open, and what I would do is I would download the lecture slides first, and then I would download the transcript. So to download the transcript, what you do is you want to start the video, and then you want to full screen it. And then when you full screen it, you'll have this option in the bottom right called Open Sidebar, and it opens this little sidebar here. You want to go over to the folder, then you want to click this little link here that says Attachments, and then you can find the transcript, download the transcript, and then you have it downloaded. Then I'm going to go back into my notebook. I'm going to add sources. I'm going to add both the lecture slides that I downloaded as well as the transcript right here that I downloaded. So this version of Notebook LM on July 21st, 2026 has an error with reading the transcript PDFs. So what you actually have to do, as you can see, it did not upload. There's an error. What you're going to want to do is you're going to find the file that has the transcript, which is right here. You're going to Command A to select all the text, Command C to copy it, go back into Notebook LM, add sources, and then you have to go down to copied text, and then paste all the text in there. So this is the entire transcript. And now, as you can see, it works. We can actually make our quizzes. So what we would do is you would unselect all the sources and only select the ones that are relevant to the lecture. So in this case, it would be the homeostasis lecture and its transcript. Then you would go over to quiz, select quiz, and then generate a quiz. And then it takes a minute or two, and then I'll be back when the quiz is generated. Now my quiz is generated. It's on the right here. So I'm going to just rename it so I organize myself a little better. I'm going to call this Homeostasis Quiz 1. So this quiz is relatively simple. I open up the quiz. It has 10 questions. You can full screen it and answer the questions here and go through all of them. And it saves over on the right side here. I'm just going to click Studio here to go back into my overview. But overall, I'm not a big fan of the quizzes that you make automatically. The trick is to make very specific prompts. So what I like to do is I like to ask it to make me a 30-question quiz, including 3-sentence clinical vignettes. If I can spell vignettes. And then I like to also say make it step 1 style, just to make it more specific, and it will make me a much more well-detailed quiz. Just make that, and I'll be back when it's done. Now my quiz is ready. First thing I always do is rename it so I stay organized. So I'm going to call it Homeostasis Clinical Vignette Quiz. And we're going to open it up, and as you can see, The questions are a lot more detailed and just much higher quality. The trick is always to be very specific in the quiz prompts. Just to give you an example of how extensive this software can get, this is my buddy Chris's Notebook LM for one of our IDHD exams, and he has all the PDFs in here. You would unselect all of them and select the only ones that you want. Then, for example, he made these mind maps that you can click through, so gram-positive bacteria, and just organizes all these bacteria really well. He also made this right here, which is a really nice flow chart. It's good to organize things, especially in microbiology where it can get a little overwhelming. He also made this table here that organizes a lot more of the bacteria in terms of what vector transmit each of the bacteria. And the one last trick I wanted to show you in specific quiz prompting is finding different ideas that you want to take from all of the lectures and make into one specific quiz. So for example, if I want to look at all the pharmacology but it's in different lectures, I can say, make me a 20-question quiz that only focuses on the pharmacology of brain and behavior. Then generate the quiz, and it's going to pull from every single source, but only make questions on pharmacology. So that's it for my brief Notebook LM tutorial. In the description of this video, I'm also going to include a Google document that my buddy Chris made on a little more advanced Google Notebook strategies, especially in prompting. So thanks for watching.